Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining this morning. We're going to do the Unit 2 overview, meaning that we're going to look into the topic of our unit, talk about our projects, our writing project and our speaking project today. And I'm going to give you the unit schedule. Everything is already uploaded on Moodle, so you can just take a look there. I also already uploaded the PowerPoint and the summary. Still, we're going to go over it today, but that just means that you have all the time to access the material again, read it again, and later on you can ask questions again, okay? So we're going to talk about whether honesty is the best policy. So we're going to talk about honesty. Oh, that's something, because I think that a lot of us have an idea of, I don't know if you've ever heard of that, the idea of a white lie, that is kind of okay. Those are the lies that are there to help us or others. But how far are we honest in our life and in the things that we do? Biblically, we definitely know that God is asking us to be 100% honest, that there is no lies in us, that we talk and walk by honesty. Yeah. So is it the best policy at all times, yes or no? So I want to flip the page real quick and take a look at the picture. Now, we see a man here. He holds up his hand, which mostly means I'm telling the truth, y'all, you know, swear by God, which is not good because we should not swear. But a lot of people say that, right? Or when you are inaugurated as a president, you would swear. And then the other hand would be on the Bible, that you swear by the word of God. In this case, to be loyal and so on. They still do that though, use the Bible to make an inauguration, for example, valid. Now this picture is interesting because one hand he holds up as in, I'm telling the truth, y'all, I'm committed. But then his other hand has his fingers crossed. Got my fingers crossed, people. Like, what would that mean? Does anyone want to respond to that? What do you think that means? Having your fingers crossed. Then I'll just pick names. The fingers crossed basically stands for I hope, let's hope so, you know, like you're not really sure. So it basically refers to, well, I keep my fingers crossed. In other words, like, let's hope all will go well. So you're not really certain, yeah? It can have a very opposite meaning. Quickly opening all the names so I can make a good shuffle of everyone. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. Now I'm gonna get a quick look at the other one. That is for listening and speaking. Now for reading and writing, our book, yeah, for reading and writing, we're also of course talking about honesty. They both all have the same topic, but it just has a minor difference. Subtopic. This one is lies and truth. So still same. Do we always have to be honest? And this one is about lies and truth. Now, if you look at the picture here, you see this man's expression is funny. Now here you see a picture. Here is jurors. So that means that this is a court of law. Yeah, these people are sitting in a court and they're the jury, and they're the ones that basically give a verdict afterwards. That's why you see these faces are like, I'm not really sure if you're talking or telling the truth. Like, is the guy guilty? Is he not? We do not, apparently do not have such a court system here in Indonesia. That is different. But in the US, they use a jury. And that consists of random people, yeah, who are neutral to the case. Okay, straight away, I'm going to jump into our schedule. Now, as you can see here, our schedule for this week is just the information on all the projects and so. You only have pre-study for this week, so there's no post-study. I already gave you the video before the Galongan holiday, so you might have already done it, but if you haven't, no worries, you can still do it. This week, you should watch the video that I already posted on YouTube, and I already gave you the link. watch the video for listening and speaking, yeah, and do the listening part 1 activities in your textbook for listening and speaking. So that is important because next week we'll get together and then we will review that, and next week we'll have a video or an audio activity for comprehension. Yes? Awesome. So no post-study this week, only pre-study. And this week we're going to start with our project. Means that for this week you should be doing the brainstorming for your speaking test and your essay. Now, if you don't want to pace like what I did here, I gave you this is basically your pacing guide, right? Every week, what you focus on post-study, what you focus on pre-study, it tells you exactly what you need to do. If you don't want to follow it, that's fine with me, but since the yellow ones is the planning for a project, and the project cannot be done the day before, right? So you should have to do that long before. So the way I planned it out for you, basically, if you do it this way, you gradually go through everything, and by the week of submission, you're basically already done with everything. So you don't have to do anything anymore. Yeah. But again, you have the freedom how to do it as long as everything's done. So 12 IPS, Thursday the 12th of November. So unit 2 is the second and last unit for the semester. So you will have unit test 2 for listening and speaking and reading and writing. You will have to submit your log, which holds your speaking test. You'll have to submit your journal, and you have to make sure that by the 12th of November, you have finished all the activities in your ebook for listening and speaking and reading and writing. So people who haven't done it yet up till now for unit 1, that's really sad because you will have lost a lot of points. You're in grade 12. You want this semester to work for you because you need the grades of this semester. Super important, and also next semester. Remember that the ebooks are very important. You have to do them. It's not a choice. You have to do them. If you don't do them, I put in a 0. Yeah, you need to understand this. So it's important that you do everything. And if you don't, yeah, then you will not be able to even get a 75, means that you will not graduate because you won't. You have to have every subject at least 75. Okay, so make sure that for unit 1 you're set with everything. Okay. So our focus for our speaking test for this unit, which will also straight away be your ujian praktek for this semester. So I'm just going to do that in one. I'm not going to give you an extra ujian praktek. It will be 2 in 1. And which is a group discussion about dilemmas and lying. Yeah, it's a group discussion. So how do we do that? It's going to be a virtual group discussion since we cannot meet each other. So mind me saying a virtual group discussion. Okay, make sure that you get that one correct. Yeah. So you're not going to meet each other. You're going to do this through any media. You want to use Zoom for that. You want to use, I don't know, video call, any other system that works for you. But you got to have a group discussion going. And you cannot separately record. You cannot one person record, everybody records separately, and then compile it to one video. That maybe works for role play, but not for discussion, because you need to look at each other. You need to listen to each other. You want to interrupt maybe. So a good way to do it could be a Zoom meeting that you do. And then after you've recorded it, you edit it and you compile it into a nice video. Okay? So this one, and it's about dilemmas and lying. So for your essay, you're going to write an opinion essay about honesty. Now, even in your ebook, the explanation for your essay and your speaking test is already written there. So you have all the criteria and descriptors in your ebook. Also in Moodle, you can see if you go to the announcement for your journal, your log, the description is there as well. So it's already clear on the date and the time for submission and what exactly has to be in your essay. If that description is not clear enough, then you can still ask me questions, okay? It might be that I forgot something, so we can always edit that. Any questions so far? If not, okay, cool. Then we're gonna go now. We continue with honesty is the best policy. It's listening and speaking, yeah. So we're gonna go to the project to look at the instructions. So flip your page to page 58, please. Here you go. So in this test, you will plan a group discussion about dilemmas and lying. Now you have to use the vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, listening skill, speaking skill, all of that you've learned in Unit 2 to discuss multiple sides of an issue. Now you need to remember and understand that the discussion is not a debate, okay? You do not refute each other. A discussion is where you together talk about different viewpoints, different ideas, looking at an issue from different perspectives, and always looking at the pro and cons. You will always look at the similarities, differences. You will look at the pros, the cons, and you kind of come to a result. It's really cool if you can do that. So a discussion is not a debate. It's not to persuade. It's not to refute. It's really just to more objectively state different opinions from different perspectives, showing the pros and the cons. But it's not emotional loaded or like a debate can be or a persuasion can be. No, this is more objectively just discussing and sharing about ideas. Okay, so remember that. Now this could be this could be a what is that called? Brainstorm. Basically, when you would go to page 248, you see that's in your textbook at the back. You can see here that you have other topics that you could choose. Trading a lemon, this is a situation. Video piracy, not a situation. A doctor's debate, not a situation. Turtle trouble, not a situation. These you could use if you would want to, but you don't have to. These are just options, yeah? So you will work in groups of 4 or 3, depending on your class format. And I will make the groups, okay? And I will place them in your, did I already do that maybe? Yeah. Because I kind of, let me check, yeah? I already did that. I already gave you the groups, yeah? Nobody responds? Interesting. Yeah, so I already gave you the groups. So you already know who you're with. And I made groups of 3, yeah? That's just to fit the number that we have. Okay, so the dilemma. Whatever topic you have, you can talk about what should he do, what should he tell, what should be done, what is the dilemma, why did the dilemma take place, how can it be solved, what are solutions, yeah? As each dilemma is presented, the other group members will take notes on separate pieces of paper, and then a group brainstorm possible solutions or answers to the questions below. Now, these are just some questions, just as an example. Here are lying in movies, stories about lying. These are like other ideas you could use if you would want to. So you have to just look at what you think. Any of this you could take. Yeah, so it's a bit free on what you're gonna choose. If you wanna pick from here, that's fine. As long as it's about dilemma. So dilemma is a struggle, a problem, an issue, and lying. As long as you have an issue, and then connect that with lying. Okay, so talk about it. Explain the dilemma. Explain why it is difficult, explain why a lot of people lie about that, why they should not or should, or whatever the discussion leads into. Remember that you have to have a host who leads the discussion a bit, because otherwise probably it's going to go everywhere. You don't necessarily have to be a host as in very dominant, but maybe you're just the one hosting the discussion. You're also the host in the Zoom meeting. You kind of make sure that the discussion keeps going. It of course needs to have natural speech. That is super important. Yeah. And the rubric will be given to you later on. Yeah. Now, for your essay or your speaking outline in your log, just use the normal outline. I've also already placed that in. Let me see if I can access that. Can I or can I not? No. Let me see. I'm going to try to access. I'll just open Dual 12 IPS Studio. Let me see. Give me a second. I'm trying to see how far I gave you the information. Let me see. Okay, I hope that this makes sense to you. That you can you see this? Yeah, you can see this. Yeah. So, okay, this is the information. Oops, sorry. Speaking project inserts the speaking test video link in the log. Your speaking test is group discussion about dilemmas and lying. So these instructions are in Moodle, but you also have them in your ebook basically. Follow the steps in the log. Yeah, you brainstorm, research. Do I have to do research? Yeah, you do research. What do I do research for? Yeah, because you remember there are two reasons why we do research. One, because you want to get information that you will use in your talk or in your writing. And second, because you want to understand about the topic. You do research to build background. You want to understand what is a discussion? How do you do a discussion? How do you lead a discussion? Think about dilemmas. What kind of dilemmas? Look things up on lying. You got to come up with things, but make sure that your discussion is natural, not that it is a memorized thing, and you cannot read. You can make an outline. You can make cue cards. Either use an outline or you use cue cards. That is fine. You can look at that, you know, like have a glimpse, but you cannot not read. You have to have eye contact with your group. Okay. So yeah, you have to do your research for sources, make your outline, record it, place the link, make sure your bibliography is correct, and do the reflection. So you make that video, okay, and then you edit it, make it nice, upload it in Google Drive, put the link in your log, yeah? Use not visuals and pictures. You can use, if you want to, use a picture statistic. That might be nice. You can do a screen sharing, but not long, because you want to make sure that I see your expression, but I don't have to see you like 100% all the time. So you can do a screen sharing where you show a picture statistic to make it more, you know, interesting for your discussion. It should be 7 to 10 minutes. 4 sources, bibliography, of course, use the MLA system. Organizational structures, logical order. So you're going to go from what is most important, and then so definitely you're going to start explaining first what the dilemma is, why it is a dilemma, whether people lie about it, why people lie about it. You can develop that in the way you see fit. Just remember the 5 W's and H: what, when, where, who, why, how, right? Use of vocabulary and grammar learned in Unit 2. Use transition words and phrases to connect ideas. Very important to do that, because you don't want to jump from one to another. Well, you're in grade 12, you know this stuff already. And this is just, you know, a simple example of the outline. Remember, you have your hook, your overview, your topic, your objective. And then you have first main point details, main point details, main point details, blah, 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 blah. And then you come to your conclusion, where you summarize or conclude the whole pack together, and you give a recommendation and a takeaway. Now, you could, for example, ask a host to do that, do the introduction and the conclusion, and the rest of the members are more focused on giving the content of the body, and the host is just kind of gluing it all together. You can do it differently, that's fine with me. However, whatever works for you, as long as it is coherent, meaning that all the ideas are connected correctly and it makes sense, and it's cohesive, meaning that you use transition words and sentences to make everything flow. Okay, so this is also in your ebook. Awesome beams, then, yeah. Okay. Now, if we look here, you can see the summary. I've also uploaded that. That is the summary of opinion and discursive writing, yeah? Basically, it's a summary of the material. Now, opinion essay or discursive essay, same thing, but we often refer to it as discursive, but it's actually opinion. Genre, it's opinion and discursive. The purpose is to tell what the writer thinks and feels. Is the purpose to persuade? No. To argue? No. You're just telling what you think and feel. You're just giving your opinion. Yeah? The focus is one-sided view. No researched fact. Basically, you don't have to, because mostly in a discussion, you're just sharing ideas. So we are more focused on the view and very much focused on reasons. Yeah, the reasons for why you're holding that view. Present information and opinion. Yeah, that's the focus of it. And another focus is also really looking at, I have to write it in, pros and cons. So you want to look at the different angles, yeah? Now, the devices we use is clear transition words and devices. Peel, so always be clear with when you state your opinion, your point, explain it, give reasons for it, give evidence, and link it back. Link it back to where? Link it back to your opinion. So if you say, I totally agree with gap years, they're good, and I start explaining the reason why I think they're good is because you can so, as an example or to illustrate, so. So that means that overall, yeah, I really believe that gap years are very beneficial for students. So that is when you do the linking, you round it up. It's basically your concluding sentence, right? Clear reasons, use examples. Opposing view can be stated in a separate paragraph. This is for writing, yeah? If you do writing, you can do that. This is the opinion, because this is what we're doing for your journal, right? So then what is that? The opposing view can be stated if you want to have an opposing view in this case. The organizational pattern, logical order is same like your discussion in the logical order, how you are connected. So the genre like this, the register will be semi-formal because you're talking with your friends. Your diction, therefore, will also, your word choice will be adjusted. And your outline for your journal will kind of look like this. You have your hook, the issue description or statement. So there's always an issue, there's always a statement, otherwise you don't know what to give your opinion on. And your thesis statement will be your opinion with a purpose. Remember, yeah, the opinion with a purpose. Then the development in your body, you will write 3 bodies. Yeah, you can write more, but not less. The first body will be reason 1. Use peel. Reason 2 is your second body. Third body is reason 3. Use peel. And then you have your conclusion, where you have your conclusion and summary. You state your opinion. You can give a recommendation, and you can give a takeaway. Yeah. So this is very nice. In this case, you state your opinion first. Really, in a very short way, you give like the 3 solutions that you had, or the 3 reasons, and you close your statement. Also the closing statement. This is also in Moodle, and this is for your opinion. So when we're looking at your book here, it means that we're going to page. So remember, for your speaking, you have to do research as well. Yeah, you have to come up with 4 sources. Okay, go to page 52. Okay, let's go down.
Sorry, Miss Sophie, may I ask something?
Yeah.
About the video, about the speaking video. So how can we start the video, like the opening, like that? Because I can't imagine it.
Yeah, that's what I do with you. So every Zoom meeting, I make a video out of. Yeah. So if you want to use Zoom, you can use Zoom. You just start it, and then as a host, you start it. And yeah, later on, you have to edit. Yeah, you have to trim it. Yeah.
Oh,
You just have to edit
okay,
the beginning and the end, and in between what you want to cut. And then you add your intro music and your outro music and the whole thing like that. You could use Zoom, that's totally fine. If you have something else you would want to use, that's fine too. But you cannot,
just combine the video.
Yeah, no, you cannot, because that will not be a discussion. A discussion means that you're responding to each other. So that's why the group is small, right? If it's only 3 people, everybody has their camera on, and then you can just talk, because it's pretty small. If you have a big class, that's difficult.
Okay then. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Miss.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be that long. You can use whatever you find. If you don't want to use Zoom, yeah, you don't have to, but it's an easy way.
Okay.
Okay, now this brings us to the journal. Here it says an introductory paragraph to an opinion essay. So that's not what we're going to do. So it's not a paragraph, it's an essay, definitely. And the question is that we're going to talk about, and what you're going to write about. This is so high. What we're going to focus on is this. Should we always tell the truth? That is what your writing will be about. Should we always tell the truth? Yes, do you agree? Okay. No, I don't agree. Okay. You know what, Miss Silvery? I kind of do agree, and I also don't agree. Oh, that's interesting. You can do both. Whatever you want. That means if you say yes and no, it means you have an opposing view. So you can, for instance, choosing to fully agree, then you will have to come up with at least 3 reasons / 3 body paragraphs for why you agree. You do the same thing when you disagree. You come up with 3 reasons why you disagree. But if you say, hey, I agree and disagree, you can come up with, let's say, 2 reasons why you agree, and the last reason is why you disagree. Does that make sense? Like that. That's an example. You use the vocab and grammar from the unit, okay? That is definitely very important. Does this make sense? Okay, now
yes.
here, okay,
yeah, miss.
Cool. So this is your brainstorming, where you can come up with advantages of always telling the truth, disadvantages of always telling the truth. You can come up with that. It is super important to start with a brainstorm, get all your ideas together, and it is basically your brainstorm that helps you and guides you through your research. It is the points in your brainstorm that you will research on. Otherwise, what are you going to research? I have no idea. Lying. What will I look for in lying? Lying is like super broad. So that's why you're going to use the ideas in your brainstorm. You're going to look for sources for those ideas. And while you're digging, you will come up with even more points. Hey, this is good too. Or hey, I could add that. And you add all that information straight away, note down, keep the data and note down the sources so you don't have to look for that again. And then after, when you're done, you're going to pick. You probably are not going to pick everything. So you're just going to select what you really want to use. And that's what goes into your outline. Okay, now your outline is just like a normal essay outline as any other. Here we see an example of an introductory paragraph, but you're going to do an essay. nonetheless, for your ebook, you would for your textbook, you would have to try to make this, yeah, following the video, because this is very good in practicing a thesis statement and the hook and the overview. So in this part of your book, you're really practicing to create a very strong introductory paragraph. So please do the activity seriously, because this will definitely help you. Also, it will be in your test. You'll have to look at a good thesis statement, recognize and know which is good or not. Yeah. Okay, so for topics, should we always tell the truth? Your essay is going to be about the question, should we always tell the truth, yes or no? Yeah, so this is your essay prompt that you have to write about. Okay, let me straight away screen share the other things I want to show you. Let's go to this one, our hamburger. Basically, in elementary, we normally use the hamburger idea for writing paragraphs to teach kids. But this is just such an easy way of seeing how it works. So you really have the top bun for the introduction for an essay. And then you've got these layers of meat or your lettuce or whatever you want to put in, or your cheese. But it is basically all melted together. And it's the inside, the content, that basically is what is the whole essay is about. You know, the top bun and the bottom bun are just to cover it up and to make a nice intro and an outro. That's basically it. So make sure that your essay really flows. That will mean good coherence and cohesion. Right? Okay, so what's an opinion essay? This discursive writing. You present your personal opinion about a particular topic, so it always has a prompt. In this case, should we always tell the truth? Your opinion must be stated clearly and supported by justifications. That's another word for your reasons. And it will be great if you can add an example. So get your peel going and link, yeah? Present an opposing viewpoint, that would be great, but that's always done in a separate paragraph. You do not use the opposing view in the same paragraph. Now, so for instance, you have the introduction, introduce your subject, state your opinion clearly. And then the main body consists of two or more. Yeah, you have at least 3 body paragraphs, right? And if you want to add an opposing view, that's allowed. You don't have to. And in the conclusion, sum up your viewpoint. Restate your opinion using different words. Maybe you want to restate really short the reasons that you used, and you do a takeaway. Okay, so there are 2 formats basically for opinion essays. We have format 1 and 2. The one I want you to use is format 1, actually. Nonetheless, I do want you to know that we have different, what is that called? We have different formats, right? But I would want you to do this one. So I don't want you to do that one, okay? But both are good. So the first one is you, in the introduction, you state your opinion, then present, then you go to the body, you present an argument, the reason for it, and then the second body, another reason for it, and then third body, another reason for it, and then in your conclusion, basically you summarize. Now, in format 2, what you do is, in the introduction, you present the issue. So here you present the issue, the hook, the issue, and your opinion. This would be your thesis statement. Yeah. So above here, you basically have, let me just draw it in. Above here, you basically have your hook, and then you have the issue, and then the hook, the issue, and then you state your opinion. Yeah. That is and then here, present your reason. Yeah, that is the body, the body, the body, and this is your summary, okay? Now, in format 2, it is different. In format 2, you start with the hook and you give the issue. It's a bit different. Okay? So you give the hook and then you get the issue. And then you go to the body. Reasons for, so the pro, reasons against, the con, and then in the conclusion, you state your opinion. Does this make sense? Yeah? So in this format, in the introduction, you do not state your opinion. You only state you give a hook, you give the issue only, the prompt, which would be in this case, should we always tell the truth? And then in the first body, for example, you talk about, well, there are people who believe we should, and they give reasons for that. And in the second body, you say, well, others believe we should not do that. We should not always tell the truth. And then you give reasons for that. It's more objectively. And then in a conclusion, you state what you think and give a short reason for that. But this one, we're not going to do. We're going to do format 1, meaning you give the hook, state the issue, and state your opinion. Whether that is for, against, or for and against, it's up to you. And then in the first body, you give reason 1, second body, reason 2, third body, reason 3, or opposing view, and then the conclusion. Okay?
Okay, Miss. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So if we're gonna use this format, so we're not gonna have to write overview, sama.
Still, you have the
Still?
Yeah, you still have the hook, the overview, and the thesis. You have your hook, your overview is the issue, and your thesis is your opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still the same. Yeah, so your hook can be anything else, rhetorical question, can be a statistic, whatever. And then the overview, which is the background, that is the issue, the statement, and the prompt. And then your thesis statement is your opinion, like that. Okay? And then your, basically, just now, where did we get that one? Let me see. Like here, yeah? The hook, the O is the issue, and the thesis is your opinion. And then the C is restating opinion. Maybe you summarize 3 reasons, real short, what your reasons were, and then a closing statement. You see that? So this outline.
Okay, Miss. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so that leads us to the next one. Points that you need to remember. Never start writing your composition before making a plan. Yeah, so remember, brainstorm, research, check the ideas you want to use, put it into an outline, write your draft, check your writing, edit it, then write your final work. Complete your bibliography with the MLA citing system, and do your reflection. Each paragraph should start with a topic sentence. You know how that works. Each viewpoint should join the others with linking and sequence words. You know how that works. Use a formal tone for your essay. Avoid slang, casual language, jargon, vague comments. No, we use standard English, academic English. Improve the coherence, unity. You know that already. Okay, here, remember to use a consistent verb tense. There's a lot of you who, when you write, when you switch from one tense to another. So I don't know if you really pay notice to your ebooks, but I often update them. So I often add information, and every time there's something added to help you. So in your ebook for reading and writing, at the beginning, there's something, if I'm not mistaken, extra material, extra information or something. In it, I have put in text genres, essay genres, I put in syntax, I put in some grammar things, and I put in tenses. I put in a new grid for all 16 tenses. So if you were to be confused, please look through it. When it is in your ebook means you have to know it. I get that one, yeah? When it is in your ebook means you have to know it. Even if I don't always ask you a question about it in a theoretical basis on memorization, because I don't do that memorization. With me, it's more application. So you need to know those formulas in order to be able to answer the questions that I will be asking you. So make sure that everything that's placed in your ebook, that you know that, okay? So if you're writing an opinion question, we mostly would use the present tense. Okay, so that can be simple present, present continuous, present perfect, present future, anything in that scope. Give a catchy title. You can also write the title last. Doesn't have to be at the beginning. Now, here are some expressions, the state opinion. You can look through outlining facts, agreement or disagreement, providing examples, additions and conclusions. Yeah, and here basically, this is actually an activity. You guys don't necessarily have to do it, but you could if you want. It's basically you have to put these words in the box in the correct table. And you can underline the correct word and phrase. Basically, if we were to, I don't have that much time, I would like to know, maybe one of you can answer to list points. Which one would be good to put in? Anyone would like to try? Okay, I'm gonna ask, yeah, you know, to list points, which one?
Secondly.
Yeah, exactly, because it would be a sequence, right?
An order.
Yes, very good. To conclude, an example of concluding?
To sum up.
Yeah, exactly, to sum up. What about introducing an opposing viewpoint?
On the other hand.
However.
Yeah, however, on the other hand, very good. Those are the...
In other words.
In other words, very good. To add more points? What do you think, to add more points?
Moreover.
Yeah, moreover, furthermore, awesome. You guys are smart. Hello. Grade 12. Okay, now let's try this one. Underline the correct word phrase as an example. Number one, it is argued, or one reason that testing new drugs on animals is necessary before giving them to humans. What do you think it is? Is it is argued or one reason? What do you think?
Argued.
It is argued.
It is argued.
Yeah, very good. What about number two? In my view, we can all do something to protect the environment. For example, we can recycle newspapers and magazines. Or in addition, we can, Jordi? What do you think? Or Ryan, who wants to respond?
For example.
For example, yes. Number three, taking holidays abroad is usually no more expensive than taking them in your own country. What is more, however, it gives you the opportunity to experience another culture. Exactly. Number four, what is that?
Secondly.
Secondly. Number five, on the other hand, it can be argued that what individuals do to protect the environment makes very little difference.
In particular.
Very little difference. In particular, it is factories and power. It can be argued that individuals do. It can be argued that what individuals do to protect the environment makes very little difference. Since it is factories and power stations which creates the most pollution. Since in this case shows who does it, a result of it. In particular, would point out something specific, and in this case, this shows the result of this. Basically, it shows who does it. So I would go for since. Okay, thank you guys. Now, what about this? Read the following model about recycling and fill in the topic sentences given below. These are different topic sentences, different paragraphs. Which one do you think comes here? A, B, or C here? Saving certain recyclable materials and taking them to recycling centers has become part of the daily routine in many homes. In my opinion, this should be encouraged for a number of reasons. So this is definitely the introduction. Yeah, and in my opinion, that's the thesis statement. what would should come here? Blah, 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 blah. Our towns, rivers, and seas are becoming more and more polluted with household waste.
B, miss.
B to start with. What about this one? This one? Number 2? C, yeah? C. And the last one would be A. Okay. Now, basically, here you can look at the topic sentence and see what the supporting detail would be. We'll have to fast forward a bit. Read the paragraphs and arrange them in the correct order, then label the paragraphs with the headings below. So number 3, 5, 2, 1, 4 are headings. What is the correct order? Anyone? So we have furthermore, on the other hand, all things considered in the first place, and isn't it fortunate? Which is first?
In the first place.
That would be the first body. What is the introduction? What is the subject and opinion? You have to start in the introduction with the subject and opinion.
The last one, miss.
Yeah, this one. So, wait. This would be 1, yeah? Okay, this is 1. Okay, which one is 2? Here then, yeah? In the first place. And then?
Furthermore,
Yep. 3, and then? Where's 4?
on the one hand,
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Yeah. So it starts with, isn't it fortunate that? So I strongly believe that. So number 1, definitely the view or the issue, the subject and the opinion. And then number 2 is the first reason, an example. And then number 3 is definitely the second view, an example. And number 4, in this case, is the opposing, because it uses on the other hand. So kabalik. Number 5, all things considered though, that means the conclusion. Do you see how important these words are? As furthermore, on the other hand, all things considered, in the first place, it all shows a sequence. Do you see that? Super important, people. Yeah, awesome beans. Okay. Yeah, so basically here I would want to give you, actually I want to talk about this and let you express your opinion about it, but we do not have enough time. Looking at the time, it's almost, our time is almost up, so I would have to skip that, sayangnya. Okay, and then last but not least, we have the rubric. Here that you could use and look at for your own writing. Definitely are all viewpoints given in one paragraph. So one reason for the view in one body paragraph. Are they presented, yeah, per paragraph? Are they linked with sequence words, transition words? Are you using an opposing view, yes or no? And is it clearly explained in a separate paragraph? Is every view or every reason supported by reasons? Yeah. And do you use topic sentence, good introduction and conclusion? And here you have criteria and descriptors on content organization, vocab, language use, and mechanics. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that brings us to the end. Is there anything you guys want to add or ask maybe? Oh, we could take a quick look at, as I can find it. Where is that? Wait a second. I'm gonna. Give me a second. Okay, let me just peek with you into our Moodle. Where are you? Peek into. Okay, let's open it. I really need you to make sure that all of you can access my subject, yeah? If not, please let me know. Or contact Pakadik, he will help you. So this is in Moodle, this is the description I've given for your essay. Yeah, you will definitely, yeah, so we answer, should we always tell the truth? 5 paragraphs, word count is 400 to 500 words. Follow the steps in your journal, research 4 sources, bibliography, MLA system, use a logical order, use vocab and grammar from Unit 2, use transition words and phrases to connect ideas, and use the complete essay outline journal essay, not narrative. Means also that you need to use the journal for essay, not the journal for narrative, okay? Don't make a mistake in that. Okay, awesome. Okay. For the class secretary, please be kindly to note who came in late, but also who was absent today, okay? Okay then, thank you very much. God bless you. I'll see you again next week. Remember to start this week with your brainstorming. Don't wait, it's a project, it needs time, it needs process. So start now to dig into ideas so you can slowly progress. Remember to do your pre-study, watch the video, do the activities in your textbook for listening and speaking. Thank you very much. God bless you. See you next week. Bye-bye.